reset. There's a new thing to get into. Like what is exciting and going on in Maximus right now?
Well, the base stake period just ended. So the last day was October 9th when it got kicked off.
Yeah.
And so now we have, it came out to be like, there we are, 109 million PHEX staked and 94 million EHEX. So less than what the end earnings were, 112 million on both. So there was net outflow, but if you compare the restake ratio compared to just like normal users, it was actually much higher. So, so that's, I think, a pretty good achievement there. And I think what that's a signal of is just that like the bear market, I think, is hitting people a lot harder than they thought it was. Like base launched at a time when people thought that was the bottom. It was about like 2 or 3 cents. And then it went up to like 12 cents during base and then down to, down effectively 90%, from there. And so and we saw it with team too. Like as soon as people's first year team came unlocked, we saw a lot of selling. And then same with their, like right away, right when it became unlocked, whole lot of redemption, whole lot of selling of the HEX. And so I think that just like, every year base is going to end at a different time in the cycle. And so this was an example of how a base stake looks like towards the end of a, like deep into a bear cycle. And maybe, similar kind of sentiment is seen in the discounts on some of the pool tokens, which, I mean, the discounts really are kind of going away by now. But it kind of makes sense that if there's low demand for just like normal liquid HEX, then there's also, especially low demand for pre-staked HEX. But maybe during a bull market, if there's high demand for HEX, there may be even like elevated demand for pre-staked HEX. So it's kind of I think that we'll see, especially with base ending every year, we'll see how it looks during different cycles. I think comparing these charts to, like what it looks like at the end of next cycle. Like what if at the end of the next cycle, we're like in a bull cycle, a lot more interest in staking HEX, and then the mint ratio, it's probably going to be like coming out to what, like 120 million or so, whatever 12% is of 109. Like, who knows, we might see like the chart of minting like kind of have like a little dip right away and then like be much higher than where it ended. So that remains to be seen next year.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like this was the reload phase was very different than, launching a new stake pool because, well, one, we didn't start from zero, but two, it was like, as you can see, like it initially dropped. And so it's a good reminder that like these are HEX stake pools, and people that earned, were staked for that period, definitely redeemed. A lot of people redeemed their HEX because they were, done with the stake, and then it like flattened out. So like through this, like, normally we're like driving the HEX, the amount of HEX up, and initially it was like dropping pretty steadily. I was like, well, I mean, it is what it is. Like it's kind of more of a reflection of where HEX is and how, what people want to do. But then it kind of flattened out and then towards the end picked up. So it was fun to watch. I'm glad it went up towards the end there, but it was a fun week for sure, just to observe.
I just saw this. Oh my God. The thumbs up from Richard's one. Sorry, I was scrolling trying to find team updates and I come across the Dipcatcher posting 10i.com stuff. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way that's his thumb. And so I just reverse image searched it, and it's like, I think the earliest times that image appeared on the internet was like 2004.
Dude, he loves audio chats too, so that message was totally on par. It was not AI generated. That was like totally Richard saying that. Like I could see him being like, "Damn it, Twitter,
God, I made the
do stuff for
video.
me."
I made the funniest video of like, just like, I don't know. I'll share it. Maybe I'll post it.
Oh my God, that is wow! Somebody made this. You made this, or
no? I didn't make that.
No, that was Hex Edit.
Oh, shout out again to Hex Edit.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's an awesome creator for sure. Where's
the team updates? I'm gonna start searching gold keys now. Where's the team updates for team, or for
You'll scroll up, you'll see it on, or so or at least on my page, I posted the team restake rate was down big, about like 50%. And so what that means is that
This one?
No, probably higher. No, lower.
Let's see.
It might have been in a reply.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know. I actually don't think I tweeted out an update on team stake. I was pretty focused on base.
Yeah, so less team staking, so which is good for the team stakers because like the year one earnings were like known that they were going to be pretty small, and so the just because the only one paying into it was base. Year three is really when there's going to be a big year. Next year it's going to be probably pretty small again. So it's good that there's less staking because just like, more earnings per person. But year three is going to get crazy because at year three, the team stakers are set to earn the whole big wad of Maxi from the launch of team. Like 20% was burnt, and then 30% of it went into a escrow contract that redistributes it to the team stakers. So there's a bunch of Maxi who go to team stakers in that year. Trio ends, and so Trio is like 3 years of yield all in one, and base ends at the same time, the third cycle of base. So year three is like really where the team stake yield starts to pick up.
Yeah.
I give up. I'm just going to click on this one. Is this? I just clicked on one that talked about team. Is it relevant? No, probably not.
So that was, Total's team stake. That was for period one.
Here, I'll pull it up. Let me look it up.
Okay. I tried.
If you go to team.maximus.cash, you can actually see it.
Okay. You guys have websites?
Yeah, I am working on like a site, an updated landing page to like host all of our, because like the maximusdao.com was focused on the perpetuals and team, but I need to include all the other products we've launched.
Okay, so that shows that that actually shows there's 2 million teams staked into year three. So people have already started committing to year three that missed year two. And that doesn't show the team staked for year. Go to Etherscan.
Do you have a link, or should I just poke around?
Here, I'm just gonna pull up the number.
So like one of those. Then there used to be a job where it was like a telerecorder person where you would tell them over the phone to type stuff and they would type it up. Is there a job that used to be like that?
Okay, so if you like, I'm looking at the. There is now 36 million teams staked into the staking period too.
Is that PulseChain or Ethereum?
That's on Ethereum.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on PulseChain, by the way, so I can switch. Let's see.
Let's refresh the page.
I don't really use Ethereum anymore. I don't know why you're doing that. So it's very offensive, actually.
Yeah, well, it's because the PulseChain scanner doesn't interpret assets that were copied over as contracts. Like you can't even look up you can't do the like read functions on scan.pulsechain because you can for team, but some of the assets, let's see if it even lets you. Okay, so you have to go in and re-verify them, but some of the assets don't even show up as contracts.
How do I disconnect the app from this? I'm trying to switch networks to Ethereum, but I can't.
Switch it. Like just switch the.
I switched the network, but then I'm on Ethereum here.
Refresh the page.
Let's see. I can try rebooting the computer.
Go ahead and burn your house down and rebuild it.
Actually, I think refreshing the page. I'll just try that. I'll try that first. Okay, here we go.
So that's
showing 3 million
your into year 3. So people have already started staking in for that next cycle. But if that's, let's see. I'll pull up a number and I'll tweet about it, but it's probably about 40 million. If I was to guess.
Wow. Nice. So just for people watching too, like team it gets I guess what is the not its purpose, but doesn't it get to earn some from perpetuals? I forget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It gets half of the bigger pays better bonus. Yeah. And it gets the hedron from those pools, which really isn't a lot. Like it's kind of insignificantly small.
But a lot of people like team. There's a lot of people I see like is that the coin that we talked about this before too? Like if there's one Maximus token that could do the 10,000x, it's team DCA, which has no ceiling, I guess.
So the least ceiling is probably water.
Yeah.
Team has probably team is probably more like it's because like water really means nothing. Like there may be some kind of little bonus thing related to pool party with it, but it's like pure collectible. But because of that, it like has no bound. Team has earnings, and the earnings can get really high. And with the party launch, the team supply could get very scarce. Like if most of the supply of team gets minted into party by burning it, now there's less team to split up the rewards to. The rewards get really big in year 3, gets even more big in year 6. Year 9 is going to be crazy. Year 10 is also going to be crazy. And so like team has very high yield years starting around that time. And this is just one such kind of how like Maxi supply got burned when team launched, and now team supply is going to be getting burnt when party launches.
Water did 61,000% on PulseChain.
Yeah, like
on the bottom.
Water pumped.
Wow. Water pumped makes sense.
But yeah, so that's because they're not bound. Like DCI I wouldn't put in that category because like if the price gets shockingly high, then it makes it feasible to just mint new. Like you can just mint your buddy pass token. And so like
okay. I was thinking DCA ends after the last, nobody mints it for a month or something. Wasn't that it?
So yeah, so DCA and like it does no more minting if it doesn't happen for a month, and then it becomes fixed. And so on PulseChain, because it wasn't meant to be mintable on PulseChain, like the ratio for minting it was set based on Ethereum because it launched months before PulseChain. So the version on Ethereum is still active, but the PulseChain one is not.
Interesting.
And I've thought about relaunching it for PulseChain, basically just adjusting the rate so it's like fair with the Ethereum one. But as of now, it's a Ethereum purchase.
Do we have a PDI situation with DCA?
I mean, anything can happen.
Wow. Very interesting when you change blockchains and million excess stuff and all that.
It's along a similar topic, this is deep in the weeds, but Water's minting phase actually ended in July. And so when PulseChain launched, someone went and minted a bunch of water. So the water supply on PulseChain is much larger than Ethereum. And so I personally just, if you really look at the whole situation, the water people from Ethereum to me are like first-class citizens, compared to like, just because, it was the way it's designed, but if you can mint, however, I think towards the end, it was like one water per ETH or something. But that means, so like water became infeasible to mint after some time, but then on PulseChain, one that like Solidity interprets 1 ETH is equal to 1 PulseChain. And so like 1 PulseChain per water. So someone, minted a bunch of the water tokens on PulseChain after the copy, after the fork.
Someone also
there.
Someone also, I heard Alex say this, like sniped all the HSIs at fork. from like OpenSea.
Oh yeah.
For like nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know if it was the AMM bot?
No, they went through OpenSea and like bought all the listed HSIs that were on there.
Oh, because I know that